Hi y'all, it's Sideways 86 here, and I want to just destroy a myth once and for all. A lot of people think that the USDM version of the AE86 is actually AE88, and that's not true. That chassis code does not exist. The VIN number does, but there's a reason. So here are two of my AE86s. This one is a 1986, this one is a 1984. In the side yard, which I'll show you in a second, I have a 1985. That is the one that's a true GTS. So here's what happened. Toyota brought the AE86, which was released in '83. They brought it to the United States in '84. When they did that, the United States and Customs said you have to have a VIN number, a vehicle identification number, which they don't use in Japan. When that happened, Toyota went, okay, fine, we'll just use our chassis code, just like how we use our chassis codes in our country. And so they imported the SR5 as an AE86 because it's an AE86. You'll notice it says AE86 here on the VIN plate and here on the chassis. And then here you can see AE86 there, as well as in the firewall there. That was all fine until Toyota tried to bring the GTS version of the AE86 over. And according to US Customs, they said that wasn't the same car. They couldn't use AE86 in the VIN. So Toyota kind of panicked, and the 6 is the trim level of a chassis. 0 through 7 existed at the time, but 8 didn't yet. So they just made a new one, 8, for GTS. So here we have my 1985 GTS. Yes, the VIN specifically says AE88, but if you come down here to the model, it's AE86, and the chassis is still AE86. It's the exact same car, just different parts in it. So back in the day, originally, like in the early 2000s, when you were looking for these cars, that kind of meant something because you kind of knew what parts came in it. But now every AE86 is so Frankenstein, you really don't know without actually digging into the car and looking. For instance, this car originally came with a fuel-injected 4AG motor, which is a 1.6-liter 4A with a twin-cam head, fuel injection. It's got a gas tank, which is the exact same tank, it's just got baffles inside of it, slightly larger fuel lines, and a 10-bolt rear axle. And these SR5s originally came with a 4AC engine, which is still a 1.6-liter 4A, but it's got a single overhead cam, it's carbureted, it's a reverse flow head, it's not very great. It's got a smaller 8-bolt rear end, and the gas tank does not have baffles in it. But everything about the chassis is exactly the same, and everything swaps over. They're the same car.